Hey, what's going on? BonSwootch here. Today I'm going to be unboxing Nanoleaf's small triangles. Now here I have the starter pack, which comes with 5 small triangles. Now, Nanoleaf's small triangles are part of a new product line called Shapes. Similar to the OG Nanoleafs that are now discontinued, the triangles, small triangles, and hexagons are able to connect together, unlike the OG Nanoleafs, which could only connect to themselves. So the 3 of these products, the small triangles, and the hexagons, will be able to connect with each other. So I could connect a small triangle with a big triangle, or a hexagon with a small triangle, etc. I personally wanted to get the small triangles because I think they're a good size based on what I saw online. And I like the way that the edges are rounded. So all of the shapes have a sort of rounded edge look to them, although the actual plastic piece of them are hard corners. But the light will only go to a smooth edge. I do intend on upgrading to more triangles, so this is the starter pack, comes with 5 small triangles. I intend eventually to get more. I think it's the expansion pack, which will come with 10 more small triangles. Personally, I think the small triangles is going to fit my design. I'm going to put it somewhere in between on the wall over there, in between the top of the monitors and the bottom of the first shelf, the lower shelf. I have a design in mind. 5 won't really complete it or even barely start it, but it will be at least a start. See if I like them, and I can always upgrade to the other 10 and then make probably more than even my full design. A nice thing about these shapes is that, of course, you can pair them with the other 2 products in the same line. The little ones, I mean all of them, but the little ones will really allow you to build whatever kind of design you want. So 5 of them. There's not a lot you can do with 5 since they do have to be touching edge to edge. At least one edge of them has to be touching a pre-existing one in order to get the power to them. However, there should be a lot to do with them. Of course, they light up. You can do grading on them. I believe you can customize each light. So you can do blue and then red on 2 different ones. You can also do a light blue and a dark blue, so you can make sort of a gradient. Maybe you want it to start dark green and then slowly get to a lighter green as it goes out. You can do that. You can program them individually. I also believe you can do animations with them. I'm going to be trying. You can play sort of a couple games. The one I know of is Whack-A-Mole, so I think it'll light up and you'll have to hit it really quick. Obviously, you're not going to want to smack these. They're a little expensive. I'm not too unhappy with this, although I think the expansion is about, I want to say $120 for 10 more panels. So they're a little bit pricey. I'm happy with the price of this one, just to get my foot in the door, see if I like them. You don't want to be smacking these. You can also tap I believe it comes with a sort of control panel that's separate from the shapes, but you can also tap the shapes to change the brightness, the color, etc. We'll be experimenting with that as well. Another thing that these panels will do is they're able to sync with computer. I believe they sync with games or anything on the display. I'm not positive. We'll be testing that as well. With that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and cut the box open and we'll take a look at what's inside. And I'm really excited to try them out, see how they look on my wall as a design primarily, but as well as a little bit of a light source. Alright, so I've got the box right here. I'm going to go ahead and cut it open and take a look at what's inside. This is actually my first Nanoleaf product. I was hoping to get the original OG ones, but I found out that they discontinued them. I was a little unhappy, but the good news is that the small triangles look fairly similar, but I'm still going to be pretty happy with these, I think. They got the new features, and they look similar because they're still pretty rounded. So we've got the Nanoleaf mini triangles is what they're calling these. So I'll take a look at looks like there's an app. So you can use an app, almost likely be using the computer app if they have that, which I'm sure they have. I'll have to make sure. I hope they do, because I'm going to mainly use it with my computer since it's going to be above my computer. I won't be using it much from just on my phone. Like if I'm in bed, I won't be using it as much as I would if I was on the computer. So this shows you a little bit about the colors you can do. It looks like you can select all the colors you want, which is good. The functions are listed here, a couple of them at least. It's got the touch experiences, which I think is the games, as well as the brightness options, the brightness adjustments. Music visualizer, which is it will react to whatever music or sound I believe you have playing. Layout detect is nice as well, so you won't have to program like a good example might be my Corsair fans. You have to tell the computer where every fan is, but this looks like it's going to auto align. So once you build this layout, it will automatically build that on the program, so you won't have to program what it looks like. It'll automatically recognize that. And it's got simple installation, which means you don't have to use a drill. It's going to have some kind of sticky adhesive similar to command strips. Alright, now that I've got the adhesives off of the back, I'm going to take a look at what's inside. So let's see what's inside of here. First thing I've got is, I guess, just a little advertisement. It's nice though, because on the back it has a couple designs you can use, and since there's only 4 triangles inside, all of these 10 examples will work with the product that I have. It's also got a QR code so that I can scan and look at more designs if I don't have any ideas. Aside from that, it looks like I have an instruction manual, and I will be looking at this later when I start to put the panels together. So pulling out these little card stock inserts, I'll take a look at one panel. I'm going to wash my hands before I set these up because I don't want to smudge them, or I try to keep them very nice. But as you might be able to see, the whole panel has sharp edges, but the corner, if you see these rounded parts, that's as far as the LED will extend to. So this part right here I've got my finger on will stay white, which I kind of like. It makes the panels look really cool in the designs. As you can see on the cover, they're kind of rounded and they look, I don't know, a little bit cleaner. I don't know if you'd call it abstract or what, but they're kind of, I like the look of that. It's kind of similar to the original Nanoleaf. So that's a look at just one of the panels. We've got 4 more in here, and I'm going to try to set these aside real quick and take a look at what else is in here. I've got an AC power adapter, which I'll definitely need to power the first plate, which will then basically carry the power to all the attached plates that will attach to the edges here. So each of these edges can attach to another plate, but none of them, only one of them necessarily will have to, in order to get the charge. And I can attach up to a shape on each side. I've also got some adhesives here. I'm not exactly sure, but these will have something to do with putting them onto the wall. I don't know exactly how. We've got this piece. I don't know what this does, but I'm sure again the instruction manual will help us figure that out. And I've got a few of these which will attach the panels to each other. It looks like I've got 6 of them, which I believe is more than enough. So the rest of stuff in here is just a sticker of the Nanoleaf brand, which is kind of nice. I do like getting stickers and saving them. I usually don't really do much with them, but I like saving them just in case I want to use them later. Nanoleaf also has an app which I used before I bought my product, which allows you to customize a layout and test it using your camera to see how it will look on your wall in live time. It'll use your camera and sort of apply the layout to your wall, and you can sort of see if it fits and how it looks on your wall to decide if that's the layout you would like. So before I apply my panel to the wall, I want to take a look at what I'm going to use as the control panel. So right here is going to be part of the thing that connects to the adhesive that attaches to the wall, and it'll make it really useful so that you can pull this off. Let me see if I can do it with my fingers. Yeah, so this part will be stuck to the wall, and it will allow for the panel to come off of the wall easily without taking the adhesive off. And these will be the connectors that can connect panels and make sure that the power from the control panel will flow through these and power other panels, up to 500 panels that are in parallel to this one control panel. It also looks like it has some stabilizing parts, so when it's on the wall it won't move and it'll stay flush with the wall and it'll stay on there nicely. So here I've got the end of my power supply that is going to connect to my mini triangle. So I think all of my triangles, I looked at this and one other to compare, all of them have sort of these slightly smaller piece attached to it, which sort of looks like it'll fit this. So let me take a look and try this out. So as you can see, that fits nicely. It could have fit into any one of these. So they all have the square side and then the sort of wall looking side. So it'll fit on any piece you want and on any of the 3 connectors you want. The only thing I notice is that on this side where the connector is, you've got this sort of thing that's basically got a little notch on the end or a little point on it, whereas the two other ends don't have that point, they're just straight. So I don't know if that's indicating that I should put the power supply there, but I think I will, just since it's the odd man out. Just checked out the instruction manual and it says it doesn't matter which of these connectors you hook up the power supply and the control panel to. So right now I'm going to keep this one here since it doesn't really matter, and I'm going to attempt to stick this to the wall, and then once it's on the wall I'm going to find out where the panel will fit best. So I'm not entirely sure where this is going to fit best. It might be on the first panel I place, or it might be on one of the other panels. So once my layout is on the wall, I will figure out where this can fit. So the last thing I'm going to do before I put this panel on the wall is take one of my adhesives off of here and put it onto the mounting plate on the panel. The way the manual shows it is that the sort of bottom of it here that looks like a little tab is basically going to align with the little cutout on the bottom there. So I'm going to peel this off of here, trying my best to not touch the sticky side. I'm going to hold for 30 seconds because it seems to say, at least when you're putting it up on the wall, you want to hold for 30 seconds. So I'm going to hold for 30 seconds now as well, just to make sure that this panel won't fall off my wall. Because this might be the only panel, or maybe one of two, that are actually mounted to the wall. I'm going to try to use the remaining panels just connected by the connectors, not using the adhesives. So that's our control panel. Okay, so this is the wall where I want to set up my panels. I'm going to start it around here and have it sort of loop down around here on the underside of this shelf. I'm going to try to find the best alignment of this where that the wire will be facing down, so I can sort of tuck it away under my desk to plug it in. So I do recommend you check out the Nanoleaf app because it allows you to customize your layout. Now this layout uses about 15 panels, which is the amount that I would have if I get the extension, which I likely will. So I'm going to try to build at least the first 5 of this pattern. So now I'm trying to look at this and figure out where the wire should be in terms of this first panel. So I'm going to mount my panel like this. I also found out that this piece here just connects to here. I thought this already had a plug, so that's why I was confused. But it turns out that they're separate, so this will go into this and make a full plug. The good news about these adhesive panels is that I can actually pop it off, which is going to be useful to me right now because I found out that I don't want to use this as my control panel. So I've swapped the adhesive onto this panel, which doesn't have the plug, which is essentially the same as just taking the plug off of here and putting it on another panel. However, I don't really want to pull that power on and off too many times because I might damage the connector. I'm going to use this panel to start the design up here, and then the next panel about here is going to be the one that carries the power. It'll be a little lower to the ground. So now I'm going to attach this panel to my wall, and I've already used an alcohol wipe to wipe the majority of this surface. So now I'm going to use the adhesive and stick this panel to the wall according to my layout. So I very much didn't want to get any oil, or basically I wanted to keep the panels as clean as I could. But it does say that you want to press down on them for about 30 seconds. And I could feel that a little bit of my finger oils were getting onto the panel. But that should be fine because later we can always wipe them down to clean them up. Next, I'm going to take one of my connectors by just ripping it out of this packaging. And I'm personally going to apply it to one of these blank triangles. So I'll flip it around, put it on any of these, give it a push. Of course, you're going to want to be gentle. So now I can connect this to another panel, such as that. But I'm going to do it to this panel that's already on the wall. So I just realized it's probably going to be smart to connect as many of these as I can first, because once you click them in, it's flush with the wall, so you aren't able to connect it so easily. So I'm going to connect as many as I can now, and then just try to flush it with that. So one problem I'm seeing, it's a very minor thing. The panels have a small gap in them when attached with the connectors. I've got the connector on there really firm, and so there's a little bit of movement. There's a little bit of wiggle room in there. I don't think that's going to be a huge problem, but I do like to have my things as kind of nice looking as possible. I might need to put an adhesive on there to make sure that they stay in place and don't move, and to kind of adjust it so that there's not one edge that has a bigger gap. Another problem I've noticed with my layout is that this is the intended way to set them up. However, the power supply is on that side, which makes it so that these can't attach. So I'm going to have to change where the power supply is. So I've got an orientation that should work. I found out that the back of it is actually pretty nice because it allows you to route the wire through multiple panels while staying flush with the wall. I could get creative. The only problem is that one of the connectors is in use, so you have to keep track of that. But I'm going to try to put this onto the wall, maybe using one more mounting plate here, just to minimize the amount of adhesion, because you don't need to put an adhesion plate on all of them. And so I'm going to try to stick that to the wall and see how it works. So I'm holding this sticker to make sure for about 30 seconds it has to bond with this mounting plate, but I do recommend pulling the mounting plate off of the back of the shape in order to get the sticker on. And you can see the sticker looks much better than the last one did. It's almost perfect on there. As you can see there, the shape came off of the wall, but the mounting plate remained. So I'm going to attach this one to the rest. This is how it looks so far. So what I'm going to do is remove the sticker. Now that I have the entire layout, I'm going to remove the sticker on this piece and try to attach this to the mounting plate that's already adhered to the wall and get this one adhere in place so it's perfect. So eventually I might want to add more mounting, but right now that's pretty much as good as it's going to be. It looks pretty good. It moves around a little bit, but of course that's because I didn't use all the mounting strips. I've got 4 more, which means that I can hook up the last 3 and still have an extra one if I messed up or something. So the last thing I'm going to do is put together my adapter, plug it in, and see how it looks. So I'm going to try to just slide this piece down, and that's all it took. So let me plug this in and we'll take a look at the lights. Alright, so the lights are working. Let me see if I can tuck this away. So I've temporarily took that out of the way. I'm going to peel that sticker off of that one that I never did, and then I'm going to try to download the software and see how we can mess around with it. I also have to connect this to it, so I'm going to try to find a place for that. So I've connected the control panel to that one. You can see right now it's lighting up. I'm not sure what it's doing. I'm also downloading the software right now, so we can take a look at that. So you can see me accidentally doing some things with it, just playing around. I was trying to remove the sticker and I started dimming it, which is pretty cool. Now I've powered it down. Right off the bat I can say I'm very happy with the way they look. The colors are really cool, the animations are really cool, and I do like the softness of the corners. That's why I like the original Nanoleafs, is because of the corners. Just makes it look, I don't know, it makes it look a little, I don't know if abstract is the word, but maybe minimalistic. The lighting isn't that good right now, but I plugged back in the UV lights up here on the shelf just to see how it would look all together. And orange isn't my ideal color, but it actually looks pretty good. I'm going to try to use the app now and adjust some of the settings and see what we can do with it. For at least an hour, I had a lot of trouble setting up the lights on my desktop app. So I got a short video here just showing the easiest way to do it. At first I didn't know, so I was a little confused, and it took me a while to figure out how simple it really is. So I'm showing a little video just so everyone knows exactly what to do and they don't get confused at all. Now I'm testing out a couple of the Discover sort of light animations or light presets. They're really nice, and you can customize your own. I'm still working on that. Anyways, as of right now, I'm pretty happy with them. I've got my mic in front of my screen, but you can see that it keeps track of what is on the screen. So if I skip through the video,
I don't really think
you can see the lights are changing.
Nice.
Obviously, if I'm playing video games, it's going to do the same.
Salute you too.
So that's pretty cool. I definitely enjoy the lights. So at the end of the day yesterday, I wasn't totally in love with the Nanoleaf triangles. I don't know, I felt like there wasn't a lot to do with them, and I was having a hard time figuring out how you do the gestures. I couldn't shut them off by just swiping my finger, and I still haven't got any games to work on them. But during the day today, I did use a lot of the new features. I figured out how to do the gestures, and I tried screen mirroring and a couple different ways to customize the colors and the lights on them. Right now it's mirroring my screen. Not a lot going on, just the background but it's really nice. I have some clips of me playing video games, and it did mirror really nicely and really added to the vibe. I have Philips Hue lights that go around my wall on the top over there, and when I play games for a while, I've been using those. So those are really nice. I've always liked the syncing or the mirroring, so I really like that they do that. I'll probably use that the majority of the time. But I was really surprised today. Yesterday I wasn't totally in love with them, but today I'm very much liking them. I can't wait to add more of them so that I have more of the mirroring effect rather than just this small little piece there. I also want to add that I bought these with my own money, and I was in no way influenced by the company. So this is just a review of a product that I wanted to buy, and I really do like them. I also use the music mode, and it will sync to music or any sounds that are made, which is really nice. Another thing is I have an Alexa, an Amazon Alexa, and you can do a lot of things with that. We'll try it out now. Alexa, turn the Vine off. Alexa, turn on Kraken. Alexa, turn on Seawater. Alexa, turn on Vine. Alexa, set the Vine to red. So I'm really happy with the way I can use my Alexa to control them. That way, when I'm playing games, I can easily click on the screen mirror or whatever else I'd want to do. But if I'm sitting in my bed at the end of the night, I can ask it to set a different preset, maybe a dimmer one. I tried to get the dimness. I'm not really sure how to dim it with Alexa. She just kind of doesn't really respond to that one so well, but everything else works really well. The connection, like the way to pair the Alexa with the Nanoleaf is really good, and I'm excited to get more Nanoleaf to put back on the wall. I want to once again say that I am not sponsored or have any affiliation with Nanoleaf. However, for ease, if you do like the product, please go in the description. I'll add the link to their website. I will get no revenue or anything from that, but I feel that if you like the video and you wanted to get yourself one, you might as well go get an easy access link there. So feel free to do that if you're interested. Once again, these are the mini triangles, and I look forward to getting more of the mini ones. I also am interested in the Nanoleaf lines, but not anytime soon, just because these are so cool and I don't want to spend a ton of money on the lights right now. But I'm very pleased with how these work, and I would definitely recommend them.